something you don't see every day, a dirty Range Rover Sport. But I've spent the day up here driving around in this new Range Rover 2012 model year Range Rover Sport, and most importantly it's the ST V6 version. And what that means is Range Rover have updated the range of 2012, so this has got 256 horsepower from its 3 litre diesel and a lower CO2 rating and higher torque. But it has one extra that I think all Range Rover Sport owners will love, because finally, move around to the back, I press a button on the key and we have fully automatic tailgate available. Yeah, some of you might think that's a trivial thing, but if you've lived with one of these things, it's the most cumbersome tailgate in the world on the Range Rover Sport. Yes, you used to be able to open up the window, you can't do that anymore, but you always got muddy, it's always a mess. As in all Range Rovers now, it's keyless start. Up comes the gear selector, and away we go. As in all modern cars, full of bleeps. One of the first things you notice with the new Range Rover Sport is the 8-speed gearbox. When you're driving, it seems to be quite busy, the gearbox, but it's plenty of oomph. They've upped the horsepower, as I say, by 11 horsepower, but the torque's gone up too. There's 600 newton meters available, which I think about 440 pounds. That's a lot of torque at 2000 RPM. Really notice it. The only trouble is with the 8-speed gearbox, it's always quite busy. It's quite quick to kick down, but it always seems to be in between gears, which is always, I think, is one of the problems with these multiple speed gearboxes. Once you get above 6, they're introduced these 8-speed gearboxes to help CO2, so you have a super low, high, top gear. But give and take driving like this, you just put your foot down, and then it does 2 changes. It just slows things down. So I'm finding I'm driving in sport more often than I know, more often than I thought, on give and take roads like this.
100 yards, turn left.
As you'd expect in a Range Rover, a very posh lady does the sat nav.
Turn right.
Yes, dear. Turn right. You have to say, when Land Rover do off-road courses, they don't muck about. It's quite sad when you think all they really do is school runs, but when you do put them in the rough, they're pretty special things. A little bit of a test. Grass is the biggest test. Wet grass, there we go, we're away. Biggest test for an off-roader. So hit the gate posts, embarrassing. It's interesting, they put all the cars onto 19-inch wheels because they puncture all the time on 20-inch, which is an interesting thought, seeing how most cars are on 20s, I think, running around London. I always find off-roading, the secret is momentum. So whatever you do, don't stop. So this has got adaptive damper, this one, on the higher spec models. It's continuously variable dampers on it, and then there's this more active damping, which just sharpens up the anti-roll through the corners and the steering. But it's the refinement of this car I can't get over. Really quiet diesel now, this 3 litre V6. Absolutely superb. You're hardly aware that this is a diesel now. The biggest difference between this and the full-size Range Rover is the way it turns into the corners. It's that lack of roll and that initial instant bite into the corner that just makes it feel very different. Overall then, I think it's a case of continuous improvement with this Range Rover Sport. I don't think you're going to notice the extra miles per gallon. Promising it's only 1 or 2 miles per gallon anyway, but you are going to notice the extra oomph from this upgrade in the engine. I think the toughest rival for this car is actually the homegrown Evoque, because that's just that little bit more nimble through the corners. But this has got more space, just feels a bit more grown up. It's even better motorway cruiser, and I think that might be the clincher. But it's a close call now between the Evoque and the Range Rover Sport.